Tonight I'm going to share a deep, dark, very painful secret. And my guess is there are other people in this audience that have a secret as well. So it all started in junior high school. It's a time when we're all trying to figure out how we fit in. Short shorts, cute boys, mean girls, changing bodies, and just trying to figure out who we are. So when I was in junior high, I went on my first diet. I didn't need to go on a diet. I probably weighed 95 pounds, soaking wet, and I had skinny arms and legs like I still have. But all of my friends were going on diets, and I really wanted to fit in. And like other young girls, I had other extenuating circumstances. I was a middle child. I had a sister with a killer body and had a typical mother-daughter relationship. So next came high school. More cute boys, much meaner girls, competition, stress, changing bodies, and raging hormones. My particular body was changing at a rapid pace. Couldn't really figure out how to stop that, so I started running to offset some of the changes in my body that I couldn't control. Again, it was all about fitting in. And you know, I never felt like I did. So I faked it, like probably a lot of you. Next came college. This was the first time I ever was away from my family, away from home, living on my own. You know what? No one prepares you for that. So I decided to go ahead and get a very controlling boyfriend my first year in college. And he decided that over spring break, I should stay at school and study while the entire campus went home. Small school, southern Colorado, snow up to here. That was a good idea. So I stayed back. There was maybe one other girl in my dorm. And I quickly ran out of money. So I started going into the rooms of my suite mates and borrowing coins so I could go to the vending machine and get something to eat. And at one point, the only other girl in the dorm said, "Hey, I'm going to buy a pizza. Do you want to split it with me?" And I thought, wow, that's a great idea. So she bought a pizza, and it wasn't this size or this size. I think it was this size. And between the two of us, we ate the entire pizza. I remember feeling so full and uncomfortable. I thought, I have got to find a way to feel better. So I came up with a brilliant idea. I thought, there's nobody around. I'm going to go in the bathroom. And I'm going to make myself throw up. And I did. And you know, I felt better. My stomach wasn't so full of food, but I was full of guilt and shame. I couldn't believe what I had done. But I thought to myself, okay, that's the first time I've ever done it. I just won't ever do it again. That's simple, right? Well, that wasn't the case. So summer came and I went home and I went on a trip to Europe with my sister and about 30 other high school graduates. And I remember coming home, washing my clothes for the first time and trying to put my jeans on. And I couldn't get them on because I'd gained 10 pounds on this trip. And I was panicked. Oh my God, 10 pounds? So once again, I went back to school, and it started all over again. I had a new roommate, and we would binge together. And then I would sneak off and find a bathroom where I could lock the door, and I would force myself to throw up. My roommate must have wondered why she was gaining weight and I wasn't. I had a deep, dark secret, and it was eating me up inside. So I decided that it was time to drop out of school. So I did, and I shamefully asked my parents for help. I moved back home and in with my parents, but it didn't stop. One night, I binged. I went into my bedroom and I closed the door. And I went into the bathroom and I closed the door. And I locked it. And I put a towel underneath the door. And I turned on the shower so that my parents couldn't hear me flush the toilet. And I threw up. And what I didn't know was that my father was on the other side of the door. And all of a sudden, he raps on the door. "Susan, what are you doing?" "Nothing, nothing." I was completely panicked, scared, embarrassed. What was I going to do? He said, "Come out of there right now." So I unlocked the door, and I walked out, went into my bedroom and sat on the bed. And my dad sat at the other end. And when I gained the courage to look up, I could see a tear running down my dad's cheek. My dad had been a fat kid. He couldn't understand how I could be doing this to myself. You know what? I couldn't either. But there he was, my father, a doctor, my hero. And he was helpless. He couldn't figure out what to do. Boy, that was a turning point for me. I decided I had to find a way out of this nightmare. So I moved out, started living on my own, and slowly stopped the cycle of binging and purging. I went a day, and then I went a week, and then it was a month. And I started running, and I started taking better care of myself, and then it was a year. And I decided I need to find a way to take what I've experienced and help other people. So I went back to college, and I got a degree in health education. And I started a successful company selling wellness programs to organizations. Now, I have to tell you that I don't binge and purge anymore, but I deal with the emotional turmoil every single day. I've forgiven myself, so I don't feel that guilt and shame. And I want you to know that I found my way out of the nightmare. And you can too. And now you know my secret.